morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. I trust everybody's doing well. Happy new month, everyone. Um, this is our monthly support call where we do have our practitioner come and answer our questions and then, share their journey with us within IT and within ServiceNow. Um, right now, we do have George to come and share his, experience with us. But before we kick it off, um, do just a heads up. Um, just a heads up. We are still in the Delta window. The Delta window enables you to go in there and keep your certifications current. The Delta window, if you have had your certifications for more than 1 year within the ServiceNow space or ecosystem, your certifications would need to be kept current by paying a maintenance fee. The maintenance fee is $200. Um, but if you do work for a partner organization or some customers, you should have some discounts. So that discounts would provide you where you're paying $100, I believe, just as an FYI. Another thing to note is the window is a 90-day window, so it started January 15. So this is going to run through from now all the way to April 15. So if you fail to do the payment of your certification renewal maintenance program, or you fail to take the Delta exams afterwards, then the certification would expire and then you would need to do, sit for the exams again. Pretty much maybe attend the class, get the vouchers, and then go write the exams again to get those certified. And then you go ahead and keep those going. Also, just as a heads up, this is a recorded session online via WebEx. After each session, the recording will become available. We will share the contact of our practitioner so that you can connect with them, build your network. So, don't hesitate to, reach out to them. And then, it's all online. So you can use the chat feature. You can, put your questions in the chat. You can, mute yourself, be mindful, depending on where you are, so that way you can ask questions. But we do have questions that we use to, get the party going. So without further ado, we do have our practitioner, George, on here. So we'll go ahead and give him the floor. Over to you, George. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh, okay.
So
I don't
a
have
little bit about yourself. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. So my name is George Ibegbo. Thank you so much, Nemeka, for having me here. I really appreciate this opportunity. I guess I would say I've been looking forward to a time like this where I can share my should I call it grass to not yet grace, but of course we thank God for where we are right now. So I'm in Calgary, Canada, and I am in the ServiceNow space. So just a little bit of my experience coming from Nigeria. Not too much of an IT experience back home from Nigeria. I was more into finance, worked in insurance back home in Nigeria, and then I did a little bit of hardware networking back home in Nigeria. So I had a little bit of IT experience, and then coming all the way here, for studying with or the ground level type job and all that. And one day I said to myself that I can't continue like this. I have to get into something more substantial for especially my growing family. I have 3 kids now, and somehow we have to make more money to live a decent life. So I guess the driver was really just to provide my family, a better opportunity than what they currently have, and I had to do something to make that happen. And so I, started as a business analyst with an insurance company here in Canada. Did the business analyst training, and then got into the business analyst space with the company here. Just really doing analysis, things, IT business analyst, and all of those things that comes with the business analyst role. But one day, I was researching. So what next? I barely spent about a year on that role, and I said, okay, what next? What do I have to do now to up my income and make more money? And so somehow, a friend of mine who is an architect in Toronto, I was reaching out to him that what are you doing? What's good? And then he mentioned ServiceNow. Well, what is ServiceNow? And then he told me all about it, and then I got more and more interested, and then started looking online for anybody who, especially any Nigerian who has any link with ServiceNow. And that's where I came across Nemeka's profile, came across a few other guys who are into ServiceNow, and then just really connected with them to know how I can start building my knowledge and start building my expertise within the ServiceNow space. And so, as God would have it, in my company, I really just started searching for ServiceNow. I just typed in ServiceNow into our Microsoft Teams so I can just see who is connected with ServiceNow in the company. And lo and behold, they've been using ServiceNow for at least the last 2 years in that company. I'm like, oh, wow, okay, so let me connect to somebody. And then I reached out to the director of service management. I just sent him a message. I didn't care. The worst answer I received is a no, don't talk to me. So I reached out to him, like I'm interested in ServiceNow. I want to get into this team. What do I do? And then he was kind enough to respond and said, okay, connect with the Scrum Master at the time. Connected me to another manager, connect to the Scrum Master. This was for about a year. And so I stayed in touch with those guys for almost a year, really just hammering into their ear that, okay, I want to get into ServiceNow. I will do anything possible to get into ServiceNow. And they were like, okay, what's this guy all about? Laughing and all that. And so that's how I continued training, doing on-demand courses, increasing my things I know about ServiceNow and all that. And as God would have it, one of the roles came out for ServiceNow, senior developer role, and I interviewed for the role. It was a complete flop, complete flop. And the manager was like, well, you don't qualify for this role, but at least I like the fact that you are courageous and ambitious enough to want to come. Like, don't worry, go and continue to learn. When something comes up, we'll let you know. This was already a year and probably like 5 months gone already. And every week I would stay in touch with that Scrum Master and that manager. The director had now pushed me down to the Scrum Master and the manager, that this guy is interested, and so that's how I was getting in touch with them. And so something came up, a CMDB developer role and a discovery developer role. And the guy was like, before they sent that role out to look for people outside, he sent it to me. I'm like, which one would I like to do? Which one do I think I can do? And I looked at the job description, I looked at everything. I said, okay, let me take the CMDB developer role. And that's how I interviewed for that role. And even though I didn't meet all the criteria, before I interviewed for that role, I reached out to Nemeka and some other people, like, what do I need to know to even prepare for this role? I'm like, okay, go and read up on this, go and read up on this and that and that. And I read up on those things, did my CSA foundation certification, and boom, I was accepted, right? And, they're like, okay, we know you don't have all the skill, but the fact that you are really just ambitious enough, no worries, you can learn on the role. And that's how I got in. And, I've been on this role for the last 6 months now. I've been learning how to script. And so far, it's a continuing learning journey. And of course, the biggest driver for me then was that I earn more money, and there's more potential, there's more upside for me. So, this is where I am. I'm continuing to learn and continuing to build my skill, and the room to grow is huge. There's so much to know. There's so much potential, and that's just a little bit about myself.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. And that's the truth. You have to be the one, passionate enough to, put your best foot forward and then go at it. And no one's gonna do it for you. But if they see that you're trying to make that, or that you have that drive and determination, then they are able to actually help you. So tell us, we don't have any questions yet in the chat. So what do you do outside of work to rest and recharge? What do you do outside of work to rest and recharge?
So outside of work, I mean, I have 3 kids, so you can expect that my evenings and weekends are already super busy and packed full with kids activities.
Mm,
I barely have personal time, but I'm usually taking the time to attend tech events here in Calgary. There's a lot of there's a lot of hype about service now, especially in Calgary here. A lot of
mm.
companies are using service now, so I make sure I attend at least one tech event, once a month, and then besides that side, which is even more professional, that I'm spending a lot of time with family, studying. There's never-ending learning that you have to do for service now. Gather the certifications, gather the knowledge. There's always something that you don't know, so there's always room to learn more, and that's pretty much what I commit my weekends when the kids are not climbing my head, or evenings when I'm not busy with family. That's what I do to relax, I guess.
Good deal. Good deal. And that's for sure. One thing like they say, it's all work and no play. So you have to make sure you have the time for your family and outside, because that
That's
way
right.
it puts things in perspective for each and every one of us. Um, so how do you stay up to date with technology trends, especially now we have the AI rave and then we have the
Yeah,
agentic AI, or the AI robots, if you will.
yeah, for sure. Uh, I mean, a lot of groups, um, groups that are really focused on discussing new trends in technology.
Mhm,
I follow the ServiceNow community a lot. There's so much. I mean, some when I was in my learning journey, somebody said something that there's really nothing that you are trying to do that has never really been done. There's no script that you want to write that somebody hasn't written before, right?
mhm.
So I follow up on the community developer site. You would find an answer there to um, I just believe that there's really nothing new. Somebody has done it before, probably didn't doing well, and then somebody is reinventing it for the future, right? That's one way. Community. I follow lots of groups. I attend all of these tech events where things are, being new trends, new AI innovations are being discussed. Um, we have sessions that I attend in my company, from other teams, AI, machine learning specific teams are discussing new findings and new research. These are just some of the ways that I really just, and of course on LinkedIn, I'm following people who are, thought leaders as well, and, making posts about, new innovations, new trends, and that's how I kind of stay up to date on new things.
Awesome, awesome. And that's the truth. Be open to learning, especially now with the way the world is going. Each one of us will be open to lifelong learning. So
Yeah,
it's, you be able to, like a sponge, soak up this
that's right.
information. So there's so much group out there, so much content, whether it's from your
Yeah,
organization or the ServiceNow community or LinkedIn. There's so much, but the thing is just you prioritize it. You need to prioritize that this is what you are going to do. You don't necessarily have to be an expert,
yeah,
but you only get to being an expert if you try it. So trying it is really the key there.
that's right.
Trying to go in there and then, putting your best foot forward and then being comfortable with that technology and then how it's going to really affect you, especially as we transition or move forward. Um, the next question is really great. It's talking about training versus certification, or what is it, training and certification? What do you think?
Hmm. That's a really good question. I've had this argument with people, of course, veterans like yourself, Rebecca, who have been in the field. Sometimes you think that, my thought before recent was that you should get all the training and all the practice and all the knowledge, and really just ignore the certification. Your knowledge and your skill would speak for you, which is good, which is not bad. But again, your certification really just bring some attention to yourself, to your profile, right? People, yes, it might end up that you have all of this education and you do not have the skill and the knowledge, which is not a nice thing to have. But the fact that you have that certification would bring attention, and if you then now have the knowledge, that just really caps everything and makes you a um, you know successful um, person for that role. So I'd say um, 60-40, which is 60 towards training and learning and knowing stuff, and 40 towards getting all of those certifications. Those certifications are very important. People nowadays, I think these recruiters and companies, they want to see that you have the certification, right? They want to see that you have that certification, and the hope is that when you have that certification, you have learned and you have practiced, right? You have, I mean, if you don't practice on live scenarios, you have practiced on your PDI, you have practiced on other platforms to get that knowledge that you want. So my take is 60-40, 60 for knowledge and training, and then 40 for certifications. That's how I view it.
Yeah, good deal, good deal. That's the truth. A mix of the both, because
Yeah,
you can be the best candidate if you don't have the certification, you don't get any eyeballs to your profile. So if you don't get them to come look at you, then you don't get those interviews. And then if you don't get those interviews, you don't get to showcase
you don't
that your skill set or knowledge. So uh,
exactly.
it's just what it is. It's one thing to it's one thing to know it, right? But those certifications are validation, and whether you like it or not, the way the market is, or the way many a time that they are looking is the job descriptions have those stipulated there. If you don't have it already, even it takes somebody to say, no, this person, I know them, I know their work, put this resume there and then talk to this fellow. If not,
Yeah,
no, the application tracking system is going to filter you out because you don't have those keywords, you don't have those things that they're looking for. So even if
exactly.
you even have an undergraduate or in engineering or even computer, eh, if it's not what they are looking for, right? If it's there, they put it there. Those certifications will help you knock off. It will help you. Like it will make them say, no, let's talk to this fellow.
That's right.
Then
Yep.
then it will now become your own part to do the best work. And the PDI is there, the simulations are there, there's a host of resources that you need. Now create is there, the customer success center, there is the resource center, there's so much white papers, different assets that will help you. All you need to do is to go in there, download them, edit as you need, or fine tune it to suit your business situation or use case. Um, even like scripts, the scripts are there too, the different
Yeah,
APIs. All you need to do is go there, take a look, see. Sometimes you use it as templates to start to build to what you need it to do. They are there, but you would go in there and do it. You would go in there and
they're
do
there.
it.
That's
You
true.
would go in there and do it. But that's the beauty there. Try it, try it, try it. And then
That is
that way
so true.
you know, software development is a team sport, and everyone is an analyst first there. So you should have what it takes that they need. Ken asked the question. He says, "What was your experience in the first 30 days in the role?"
Wow, it was a traumatic experience. It was, I mean, I don't like to call myself dumb, but I felt so dumb in most of the meetings, you right? I mean, even when you have practiced so much, right? And there were some questions that people would ask that are more related to um, some areas that, I didn't really see very clearly in the training, right? And I wouldn't just know how to approach the question. But my saving grace was the fact that everyone on my team had been there for at least 8, 15, 20 years. So I was lucky enough to have people like that who would just tell me, I don't worry, this thing you're just trying to learn in less than 1 year. We've been doing it for 15 years. Just take your time and just keep learning. You don't know stuff fast. So first 30 days was a lot of, learning and really just getting comfortable with the fact that okay, I'm now doing this service now role. there's so much I would have to learn. Open your mind up to accept that you don't know this one, but you have to learn it. I'm writing down stuff, you know, terminologies I don't understand. I'm writing down questions that people are asking I don't understand. Um, they're sending me stories to work on. I'm going back to research on those things. It was a lot of you know, learning for the first 30 days. It was a lot of swallowing my pride, thinking that, okay, I've done this training. I should know this thing, but I clearly don't know how to answer it. And so, I was just lucky enough. I mean, if it was a contract role, I probably would have been kicked out sharp, sharp. But it was a full-time opportunity, and it was a time for me to really just sit down and then relearn. And so far, it's been, I'm getting more. Again, one of the biggest things is confidence, really. And I think I've come to learn that one over time. I don't want you don't know anything. The fact that if you have some confidence, can actually prove that you don't know it with pride, with some grace, and nobody would question you and doubt that you are a complete non-entity, even when you don't know something. Confidence would really take you some excellence, and so that's what helped me in some areas where I say, okay, I don't know this thing, but don't worry, I'll come back with an answer for you shortly. So it was a fun 30 days. Yeah.
Awesome stuff. So, but here's my 2 cents in addition to what George said, right? Which is what I always say, in most of my sessions, right?
Yeah.
The first 30 days, right, is you just getting to know the team and do compliance training and do stuff. You can't do nothing. Like the first 30 days, right? There is no way except you come in there, even as a MD CEO. 30 days, you can't do anything. It's just like see the American president Donald Trump, right? You can't do. You're barely finding your feet. You're going to make mistakes. Give yourself grace. That's it's a team goes through what we call the team formation, right? Team dynamics. A team goes through that. It's like when you join a new company, you barely know the company except for what you've read, right? You're now in the life environment. So everything that you've been before now, it's going to have shaped you or it's going to come and help you. That's what it's going to help you do. Other than that, no. Remember, everybody first off is an analyst, right? To understand your customer is really the key. There's no dumb question. You're there to ask questions, right? It's going to be so much information. You have to have templates or stuff so that you can capture it and capture not everything, but a summary. So maybe you're just jotting, taking notes, right? Because at the end, you're going to now really summarize it in your own words, which you're going to either relay back or echo it back to the request of that business user or business process owner or whoever to understand what they want you to do. Because if your job is to write user stories, you need to have context so that you can write those stories out. That who question, the what question, the why question, and stuff like that. But 30 days, no, there's really nothing. You're first to fit in. Maybe depending on where the team is in its formation, whether you're just forming, storming before you get, normalizing or you're coming in, you have to exert yourself, but you only have to exert yourself when you remember, everybody has to first be accepted. It's like when you join a school, right? Before you find your clique, same way. 30 days is not enough time. Even those projects, they say 30 days, 60 days. A lot of times they want miracle workers. So a lot of times when you come in there, you're just trying your little best, right? To see how they can, because even in a 6 months, sometimes all of these guys, you need to really, it's like a coach. You're trying to coach them to come out of their shell. It's a lot of headache they do too. So you want to be careful as you do what you do, right? But it's in 30 days, you're practically just meeting your team. Even compliance, some of them can kill you with compliance training. Just to do compliance.
It was a tough time.
They can use compliance and want to and you still have your day job to do. They will give you compliance that so don't be
yeah.
you
Mine was even more than a 30 day. It was like 60 days because I was
exactly. That is sometimes compliance is more than that. Yeah. So you just because you still have to do other things, attend other sessions, meeting.
Yeah,
sometimes they will even give if you have formal orientation, it's 1 day, 2 days. If not, they will give you SharePoint, tell you to go to this location, see the thing, then shadow somebody, maybe the person. If they do, if not, no. So it's a lot of moving parts which you can do, because as the analyst, yours is to ask questions, right? You get your templates, ask questions, be
That is true.
resourceful, be able to research, do what you need to. But that's it. Don't you can't know everything from day one or out the field. No, it doesn't work like that. And give yourself time, give yourself grace. But you're asking questions, you're getting things documented or
Yeah.
formalized, so that you know what to do. You're not asking the same question this next step. You should be able to start to take initiative as
You're
as you
building
progress.
relationships.
Like I say, you
Yeah.
can't be the new person for in every
Yeah,
meeting. And
exactly.
not
Yeah,
I mean, after a while, you become like already you're part of them now. Now you know
that's
where
true.
to go. In fact, you're able to even train the next person or provide them some structure. That's the key
Right.
there.
And
As
I
you
think
as you
one
make
other
that
thing that
progress.
worked for me again is, just really building good relationships
Oh yeah.
with the team. But I found out that that's a really big factor. If everybody just dislikes you, then you can't learn much. You can't ask anybody question. You can't move forward. You can't do anything. You can
They
make
want to
mistakes.
get you
Everybody
out
will call
there.
out
They
your
want to
mistake.
get you away.
Yeah,
That's the key.
yeah,
And if
yeah.
everybody doesn't like you, then they are like, it's time to go. That's the key there.
Exactly.
They
Right. So
won't hide
that's
it.
yeah, that's one thing I found that really helped me. Just building that good relationship, even when you don't know so much. But people are ready to answer your questions and just really be nice to you. So, yeah.
Right, great deal, great deal. So the other question is a good segue to that. It's your take on generalizing uh, or specializing in an area. So do you want to be a generalist like the general MBA, or do you want to be a specialist maybe in like healthcare? Like in our case, we have ITSM, we have HR, we have customer service, we have SecOps, we have GRC, we have
Mm,
discovery, we have ITOM. There's so much. ServiceNow
yeah.
it's never ending, right? So
Yeah.
what's your take within the
That's a
space?
really good question. And hmm. So I was talking to an enterprise service now architect around, this subject of generalizing or specializing. And I think from my takeaway from that meeting was that you really can never be a generalist because the modules are now too much. So if the point is generalizing within a certain number of modules, say okay, ITSM and two other modules, then maybe that's possible. But if you are generalizing with the whole service now module, SecOps, everything, like that's almost impossible. I don't know how that is, how anybody can do that unless you've been in that space for 25 years and you've gone round everything and then learning the new modules that are coming out. Yeah. So I don't know how possible that is. But personally, I don't really think I'd like to be a generalist. I like to really just specialize around ITOM and ITAM. So I guess that's a small generalizing scope. Just item. That's what I'll really end up, you know, working on. And maybe, of course, you need to have that foundational ITSM knowledge, right? But I'm still, I'm just few years in the game, so there's so much that I've still not even found my foot yet. I'm still just learning, right? But if I have to say, okay, this is what I'd like to do in future, then it will be around item, get all my CIS around that area, um, and then, you know, if then I start to pivot towards generalizing, then that will probably be in another 5, 10 years time when I get more experience around other modules because the modules are now too much. They have so much. The system is just a monster now. It's tough to know everything. It's tough to know
and
everything.
that's the key here. So like just like the other question before training and certification, it's a mix of both. So there's that word we call generalizing specialist, which is the sweet spot in between. So what does this mean? Right? There's no right or wrong answer. It's just like an analysis. There's no right or wrong answer in this thing. So what you really need to understand is it's all about focus. It's all about the market. It's all about you, where your vision, right? Where you're trying to get to. So where you are in your career spaces, right? So the platform is a beast. The platform is continuously evolving. So you're not going to be short of what to learn or what to do. Um, the thing is this as as you, depending on if you're working for like a customer or you're working for a partner, and then where you are in your career, all of these are factors that would contribute to how that decision is made. So, for example, on your own, each one already gone through a training or not. Baseline ITSM is the most matured of the ServiceNow space, and it's a building block. It's foundational. So everything you're doing in IT is like ITIL framework, ITIL guidance for everything. So yes, foundational. Then now everybody is kind of like pivoting to do agile projects, right? So that's agile cycles, Scrum cycles, because that's the most popular of it. Same way. So you have the understanding of the ITSM is your building block, and then every other one, like for me, I like the engagement layer. So HR, customer service, and then it's already you're using the ServiceNow's strategic portfolio or SPM, or which is that project portfolio in the delivery and stuff. And then other areas or niche areas like like you said, ITAM. So yes, if you are you understand asset so well and you're loving it, ITAM space, ITAM too. Yeah, everything that has to do with the CMDB, CSDM and all that kind of stuff. That would determine where you want to specialize. First, you want to be busy, get a job, put in your and then if you're working for like a partner there, the partner or consulting space would make sure that if you're a senior, then you can look at, okay, I'm doing XYZ projects, specializing in this particular area, I'm championing this. But if not, you be on this project is item, you get that experience. Next project is customer service, maybe in the next 6 months. Because I mean, if you deliver on the project, except you have a maintenance contract, if not, all you're doing is you're building until you build out, you go, you build the next, you go, you build the next, you go, stuff like that. So you keep to go. So you're going to be exposed, you're going to learn a lot. It will greatly help you. It will hugely, hugely, hugely help you. So generalized specialist, you're picking up on several models, getting the experience as you mature in the space, you're getting that feedback as you need it. It's really all that it is for you. If you're working for a customer, you're definitely maybe working within the IT, so you're focused to what model the customers subscribe or bought. So you're not able to do more than that, right? So and then if you're it's a senior as you grow, then you can make those decisions that, okay, I want to only be getting job there. But imagine if you're working for a consultant and you're in the bench, they're going to scoop you away. So, and then even you have to pay bills, right? So you want to make sure that you're really, you have, they have need for you. They have always been need for you. So you want to make sure just not one area. It's like all those mechanics back in the day. Anyone that has not transitioned to using those OBD systems now and all those systems it doesn't have a job. How many people are changing contact sets again? Now everything is on computer. They switch, put the thing, pin, they are going their way. That's
That's true.
the same way. So, but that's the bonus of what we're doing. Any parting advice that you have for us, because there's no other questions in the chat. Any parting advice?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that the potentials are enormous. I'm actually just starting out. I can see the financial, not sure how I'll put this, but I mean, the money that's there to be made is enormous. The skill, the opportunity, the connections that that are there to be made from ServiceNow, it's huge. I mean, there's still so much that is yet to be achieved. The jobs are there. I mean, a lot of jobs that I don't see posted, but when I talk to recruiters, especially in Canada here, the jobs are there. The jobs are there. I was getting into a contract gig recently, and it was never posted anywhere. It was just there. The contractors will just reach out to people they know. Do you want this? And they just give you. Interview is probably 1 or 2 steps. Just go in and your 80, 90, $110 an hour, 1 year, couple months. The jobs are there. Well, of course, there are other people who will say the jobs are not there, but the jobs are there. Jobs are there. So, I mean, I just say that for me personally, I'm just going to keep pushing and keep learning, keep growing my network. Because the more people you know, the more opportunities you're able to come across these jobs and opportunities to work. You know, I'm happy to connect with anyone. I'm still in my beginning phases. So I'm still learning, I'm still connecting, I'm still building my network. So yeah, sure. That's pretty much. I'm not sure if that made sense, but that's what I have to say. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I just want to say thanks for having me, and I'm happy that I was able to share part of my story, and you know, just I hope that somebody has learned one or two things from this. And of course, I'm happy to learn for myself too. All right. Thank you.
Right, you can write down the scheduling because you don't get today on this one, not with us, so you can't do anything. These are the people that are off. That's nothing you can do. So you have to decide on how you do it. That's the same thing with that. You have to be able to get it. You can reflect their best seat without explain this thing to them. When they reach you know, yeah, you can try to.
Nemeka, are you still there?
You know, yeah. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah. I was already done talking. I was like,
Yeah, I
just
apologize.
yeah.
I stepped away. But that's the truth. Like lifelong learning, we are open to that. The truth remains you get that feedback. Is very important. Um, you cannot you cannot you cannot get the you can't know it all, but you would know enough to be able to be resourceful to research your thing and get the answers you need. And don't beat yourself too much. You have what it takes. The only thing is you have to apply. You have that wherewithal. Apply. The jobs are open. They are there. Maybe you don't get it the first time. I mean, that happens too. Some people are lucky, they get it the first time. Some people, they're even lucky, they're able to even transition while they're still working for the same organization. But the point still remains that you would be able to continue to grow and evolve and become better by doing those trainings, doing those certifications, and putting yourself out there, getting that transition to the new opportunity within ServiceNow, within IT, within tech, and then don't hesitate to go learn or try out new things, especially when they have them coming, because new stuff will keep coming. ServiceNow has sandbox for you, so don't fail to do it. You go grab your sandbox, go practice with it. Your PDI, the simulations, and any new opportunity, get it. So interview, do that, and then go there for the learning, and then what's going to come is the reward, which is the finance and stuff. Those will come for sure. For sure. There's no other questions. Once again, we want to thank you, George, for coming to share your Saturday with us and sharing your journeys. It's always a pleasure, as we all journey together, to be able to see as each one progresses and succeeds within the ServiceNow and IT space. Thank you, everyone. The recording will come out in a couple of minutes. Download, and we'll also share George's contact so that you can connect with him, LinkedIn. Grow the network. That's really what it is. Have a good one. Bye bye.